Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In my previous videos, we have discussed what is a component library in Power Apps and how to create reusable components. And then we have also learned about component custom properties, mainly the data property type where we used for input and output properties to pass the data between the app and component, right? So in today's video, we are going to learn another important custom property type, which is the event property. And before we get into the video, if you are interested in learning Power Platform, SharePoint or SPFX, we are providing a complete online training courses on all these technologies. So you can check them out on spguides.academy page. So these courses are created by the Microsoft MVP Bijay Kumar Saho, and who has more than 18 years of experience in Microsoft technologies. So in this page you can see all these courses: SharePoint training course and SPFX1, Power Apps and Power Automate, Power BI, Power Pages and Copilot Studio, PowerShell. And you can also download the real-time world solutions like SPFX1 and Power Platform. So if you want to buy all of this one, get unlimited access, you can click on it. It will open here. So here you can see what are the things you can purchase, and it is for 1 year full access on all the training courses. So now let's get into our actual video. And before I'm going to show you the demo, let me first explain you the importance of this event property. So on this page here, the Microsoft official documentation explain clearly about the types of properties on this component. The one is data properties, which we already discussed, and another is function action properties, and then event. Today we will discuss on this one. In next coming videos I will make some examples on this action and function properties also, and I will provide this link in the description box below. You can check it. So now coming to the event property, so what we can achieve with this one is it allows your component to notify the parent app whenever something happens inside the component. So such as like a button is clicked, we selected an item, or performing any action. So instead of writing the business logic inside the component, we can simply raise an event and let the app decide what action to perform. So this makes our components much more reusable and flexible. And before we see the implementation, let me first explain you the component that I have made for my business scenario, so that you can understand how we can implement all these things after that. So imagine if you are building a business application in Power Apps. Almost every application has the actions like new, edit, delete and view, approve, reject, then submit or cancel, this kind of things, right? So normally we place buttons on every screens, or sometimes we use the new toolbar control that is also allowing us to choose this one. So that also works fine. But after working on multiple projects, what I noticed is the common problem: every screen has different set of buttons, like with the different colors, different styles and different spacing also, right? And for each is having a different logic. So maintaining all those buttons across the application becomes difficult, right? So instead of creating that many buttons on every screen, I decided to create one reusable component like this. So this component I made it as a reusable command bar, and this component can display any number of buttons. As of now I am showing 4 only. If you want to add more than that, I will show you. When you are adding, this component will be increased, and you can keep on adding the buttons. Like on another, let's say in one screen you only require new and edit, delete. In another screen you require approve or reject. In another screen submit or cancel. In all those cases this component will work perfectly. And also when you click any button of this one, you can provide your own logic. Let's say you click the new button, then what action you have to perform, that you can only write on this component properties. So event property, whatever I have created, right? So we will see all of the things now. Before implementing, let me first tell you. So here 4 things I have taken, right? In this screen, if I come here, let me show you. Here I have a project details, and this is containing like this. Let me play this app, and when I click on this new button, this form is opening in a new form, so I can enter the whatever I want to fill. If I come back again, and if I want to edit, so I will click this item, and when I click on edit button, so that selected item details, it is showing over here. Again, if I want to view particular item details, by clicking this one, it is showing, right? And as of now, this delete button was disabled, and when I am hovering on, it is showing what is the purpose of this button also, and here I can even disable it. So how I can make is, in this component, if I come, there is an items property. If I open here, as of now delete is disabled, right? Let me change it to edit. Now when I play this one, you can see it was enabled, and when I am clicking this one pop-up is showing and is telling that this action is can't be undone. So make sure, so I can either delete it or cancel it. So this kind of things I can do, and even I can add some other things. Let me add one new blank screen, and here I will show you. So if we come here under that custom, we have this component, and when I have added here, by defaultly it is showing 4 commands, right? So now when I go to this command items, and here is having the default code with 4 buttons. Let me add some other things also. So 2 buttons I have added. Let me change it with the approve and reject. Okay, so here you can see approve and reject buttons I have added, and then I changed the key, text icon, fill, tooltip, all these things. Key is like to identify which button I have clicked, so that I can perform some action based on that button click. So in the icon also you can see I changed this one, and fill color, tooltip, visible, and order. Let me update it. 4, 5, 6. So visible is both are true only, and display mode I made it edit. So now if you see, the command bar is expanded with the newly added buttons, and the colors also, icons, everything is applied on this. So if I made this visible to false, you can see that button will be hidden, and the component width also automatically adjusting. And also let me make it true again, and here the order is 5, right? 6, right? Let me make it 5, and I will make it to 6. Now reject will come on the starting, and approve will go on this one. So you can decide which order the buttons need to come, and you can also decide whether the button need to disable or completely visible off, or you can adjust all these things. So these kind of features I am giving on this component. Now and also this tool tip. So here you can see, as of now I am giving this text and icon. So text means like on this button what you have to display, and icon for that thing, and display mode you can disable all these things, right? And order also. If you want any other things also, you can customize it. So only we are using this component. Now first we will understand how this component is working, and what are the things I have done, like what kind of properties I have created. On this component I created one command items, which is taking the input from the app. So here we are passing the table of items. So how many records are there, that many buttons it will create with the information we have given. And then we have one more property named OnCommand. So if we come here, by defaultly I am using one switch function, and I am taking the selected command key. So that key where it come is, if you see here, we are passing key for each item, right? So we are taking that key, and based on that key we are performing some action. Let's say new, edit, delete and view. These are the sample one. Later point of time, whatever you want, you can perform those things. Let me just provide one more thing. When we click any unidentified button clicked, I gave one more notify function. When you click any button that is not specified over here, then it will show this one. Now let me click on reject button. You can see it is showing unidentified button was clicked, and same for approve button also. It is showing this message, right? So when I click any another button which is edit, it is clearly showing edit was clicked. So why it is showing like this is because in this on command I have given the condition only for new, edit, delete and view, right? Not for the remaining approve and reject buttons which I newly added. So if you want, you just write that key value like this and then perform something. Now before going to discuss that, like implement that one, let's first see how this example is working here. On this command, I mean in this component command bar, if we go to the command items, I have changed like new, edit, delete and view buttons are displaying, and here also all buttons are enabled only. Now if we go to this on command property, here I have written the switch function like the previous one, which is the default sample one I gave, and here is the realistic one. So on the new, what I'm making in another screen, which is the project detail screen, I have a form which is form 3. So when we click this new button, that form needs to become new form. So I wrote the condition new form and I gave a navigate function so that we can navigate when we click this button. Same for edit. When we click this one, we are making this form as a edit form and we are navigating to this screen. Same for delete. So whenever we are deleting, that time we are not going to navigate anywhere. Simply we are writing one if this confirm function for the pop-up. So here you can see the message like, are you sure you want to delete this record, and confirmation and cancel buttons. Even I made a video on this confirm function. If you are interested to learn how you can make the pop-ups dynamically, you can watch that video. I will provide in the description box. So here I used if condition. When we click confirm button, that time we are performing this like removing that particular item and notifying the message. And then for the view form, like whenever we are clicking, that form will be, this form 3 will become view form and we are navigating. So simple only, right? So now we will see how I have done. So in this component section, I have created one component and gave the cm underscore reusable command bar. So within that, what I have done, I just added one gallery control, and within that gallery, I have added one button control and icon one. So when we are adding gallery control, we need to pass one data source, right? So like how many buttons need to be there, all these things. So for that reason only, I just created one component which is named the command items. And if you see, the property type is a data, property type is input. So this component is taking the input, right? So we choose this one, and data type is the table. So that's why only on this one command items we are passing the table value, and this table is present in this command items, right? So on the gallery items property, I have taken this component dot command items, and I am using some sort and filter functions. I will explain that also. Let's see the another one on command. So this is our main property type which we are discussing now about the event property. So here if you see in previous examples, I have mentioned what action we need to perform when we click this button, right? So for that reason, event property is mandatory. So I have taken property type as an event, and return type I am not giving anything, and this display name is this one. See here again, cutting to my requirement, I no need to send any data type in return. But in case if this button is clicked, you want to give some data to this app, then you can choose which kind of data you are providing, all those things. So how you can add that event property is under this property type. You can see right here we have this event, and you can select and then provide the display name and the name of this property type. So this way you can create the event property type. And then I wrote some of the formulas. Before that, let me tell you one more property also. I have created one output property which is the data one. So if you see, I provided the selected command key, and then the property type is data, and property type is the definition is the output, and it is returning the data type as a text. So where I have used this one is, first in this gallery I have added one button control and then one icon control. I can use the modern button control only, but the thing is the icon, some of the icons are supporting the fluent UI1, and whatever the icons here present in this app is not supporting, so only I have taken the direct icon control. So in this button on select property, first we will see that one only. So whenever we are clicking this button, the component need to understand right which button we have clicked. So for that reason in the onSelect property, I have created one variable named like this, and I am passing the this item dot key. So if we see in this gallery table, for each item we have key, right? This command items. So each item is having the key like new, edit, all in small lowercase, right? So whenever we are clicking this button, we are passing that particular item key to this variable. Now this variable is containing which button we have clicked. So that key we need to pass to the component. So where I am passing on this selected command key property, so it is an output one. I gave that variable to this one. Now based on this custom properties containing which button I have clicked, right? So based on this, in the OnCommand event property, we are writing the condition. So within this switch function, I have taken self dot selected command key. Now this selected command key is containing which button I have clicked through this global variable. So now the self dot selected key is containing the which button we have clicked that key, right? Based on that, this action is performing. So I hope you understand this simple switch function, how we can use, and also the logic, how we are passing the which button we are clicked to this component. Then if you come here on this button, for each property, like text property, I am passing this item dot text. So whatever is present in that table, it will take for each button. Also for the display mode, this item dot display mode, and then for visible, this item dot visible, and for the fill color, this item dot fill, and also for the tooltip, this item dot tooltip, and same for icon, this icon main, this item dot icon. So conditionally it needs to display, right? So for that reason we have added. So this way I just created the component. Now I hope you understand how all these three components are passing data and allowing us to perform the actions how we are required. So in this screen you have seen, right, 5 items I have added. As I said previously, if you might get the requirement like only you want approve and reject buttons, right, not all these things, then you can simply update this table formula by removing all these things and keeping only the first two one. So now it is containing only 2 buttons. You can see approve and reject is there. You can also change the order. Let's say I will provide and I will provide 1 and 2. Then you can see it is updated, right? So while performing mass approvals like approve and reject, you can use this one. And also if you performing like submit, cancel or update, delete, at that time directly provide those 2 values as a records over here. Then this custom toolbar itself work for all of those things. I hope you understand how to use the custom event property on the Power Apps component with this example. Thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe our channel.